Hey y'all, I'm Alicia, Arborist and Horticulturist for Verdant Landscape, and as promised, I'm here to teach you how to properly prune your crepe myrtles. First, let's start with the why. We prune for clearance and shape. We also prune for removing dead branches or broken branches, and we also prune to reduce risks. Now let's get into the when. When do we prune? We prune during dormant season. Around here, that's usually between about mid-December to mid-February, so you still have some time to get your pruning done. Next up is what y'all have all been waiting on, is the how. We've told everybody how not to prune. Now let's talk about how we actually get this done. First, we want to step back, take a look at the whole tree, full canopy, everything around it, and we want to identify our why, what we just talked about. Our why is our pruning objective. Are we trying to have more clearance? Are we trying to change the shape of the tree? Do we have a lot of dead wood or broken branches, or all of the above? That is our pruning objective. Now, in this moment, we also have to keep in mind that in each season, we don't want to remove more than 20% of our live canopy on a healthy tree. Now, if it's a tree that's kind of struggling, it's going to be less than that. Next, what do we need to get this job done? Let's talk proper tools. In this instance, we can go by the rule of thumb. If a branch is the size of our thumb or smaller, we can use hand pruners. If a branch is bigger than our thumb, but smaller than half the size of our wrist, then we use loppers. If it is bigger than half the size of our wrist, so bigger than this or bigger than our wrist, we're going to need to use a handsaw or a pole saw if it's higher up in the tree. If we're removing a branch that is bigger than half the size of our wrist or bigger than our wrist, we need to make sure that we use the 3-cut pruning method, and I'm going to explain that later. Now, the reason we use that is because that helps us take the weight off of the branch before we make our final cut. That way, when the branch is removed, it doesn't strip the bark below the collar. Next, let's talk about where we make this cut. So when removing a branch, we want to make our cut right outside of the collar, being careful not to cut into the collar or leaving too much of a knob. So, 3-cut method. Our first cut is around a foot outside of the collar and under the branch. That is your catch cut for when you move the end of your branch, removing the weight and keeping the bark from stripping down the bottom of that branch and potentially down the trunk. So that tells you your second cut is going to be in front of that to remove that weight of the rest of the branch. Your last cut is directly at the collar, right outside of it. Remember, not leaving too much and not taking away too much to where we're making a flush cut. I hope this helps. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments and questions. And if you need a professional to come out and take a look, Verdant is happy to help.